it's Tuesday. It's February the 20th. I am just kind of straightening up. Oh my God. I'm attempting to straighten up to go home. I honestly do not remember the last time I vlogged. I feel like maybe it's been about a week or so, maybe even close to a week and a half. And I take that back. I should say I can't remember the last time I actually uploaded. I have vlogged quite a bit since then, and something has happened each time where I just, I either get interrupted, like in the middle of vlogging a particular segment, or I vlog and then decide I don't want to upload the footage for whatever reason, or I just don't even pick up the camera at all because I've just been super busy and I have to kind of prioritize some things. I just remembered I need to add this extra credit tomorrow. And I even vlogged this weekend and I had the utmost intention of uploading that footage, and then I looked at the footage and I had a booger in my nose. And I said, we're not uploading that. TMI, but that's just kind of how it's been going. And I believe the last thing I was talking about was really just how tired I've been this year and how tired I am of saying I'm tired and all of that. And not much has changed. I'm still tired. I'm still 100% certain that I'm suffering from burnout. And I think that's just gonna be the case, like that is what it is. And apparently the only way to recover from burnout is to actually rest. But we're not in a season at work where there's a lot of rest. I will say I just got off of a 4-day weekend for President's Day. Instead of getting 2 3-day weekends, we negotiated some years ago to make it 1 4-day weekend, and it was nice. I did rest most of the time. Some of the epiphanies I've had since I've last vlogged, I will be sharing with you, I think, when I get home. I'm just here to say hi, to just give you a glimpse of me in the classroom today. I probably won't talk about what we did today. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow because it's going to continue tomorrow. But I'm just really here to say hi. Because I feel like I just haven't been super present. And how did I not see this email? And I kind of feel like I want to email these parents. I'm just here to say hi. I'll pick up the camera some more when I get home and just kind of give you really an update, not so much on just work, but just life, just kind of where I'm at, just in an attempt to have like a moment of realness and show that teachers are more than teachers and that we actually live lives outside of class and deal with our own things. So that's the plan. I'm gonna go home, kind of get myself situated, and just kind of do maybe a sit down on the couch or kind of go through those things as I'm getting things done at home. So hi, and bye for now, and I'll see you soon.
Well,
okay, I'm home now. Been home for about 20 minutes. As you can see, I'm pretty sure the clip that I just took, I'll include it, where I was taking Wolfie outside to use the bathroom. It is raining outside, and it's been raining all day. And it rained yesterday, so it's been pretty cold. And so I'm just here in my closet trying to pull out what I'm going to wear tomorrow. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, the ironing board is warming up. If you're curious, tomorrow it's not supposed to rain, but it's gonna be cold. And tomorrow is Wednesday, and I need to wear green on Wednesdays because that's the color of my house. And it's Black History Month, so I'm going to wear this hoodie that I got from Target last year. It's green, it says Limitless on it, and it's by a black designer. I don't remember if they put the name of it in there, they don't. And that'll keep me warm, and then I'm gonna wear these jeans. Call me crazy, but both of these need a very light ironing because they have wrinkles in it. And I'm probably going to wear those things with these shoes that I got from New Balance. I got these in January. I really bought them because they matched a shirt that I wore for Valentine's Day and they were cute. So there's that. But in terms of life, just updates, like I've done so many starts and stops, like I said at school. I've taken so much footage that has just not gone anywhere for a variety of reasons. But let's start with the fun stuff. And the fun stuff is I just got my brows retouched last Thursday. So now a little over 5 weeks ago, I got my eyebrows micro shaded for the first time. And then as a part of the price, I paid, how much did I pay? I don't know. It was probably $4 something. I can't remember, but I do mention the price specifically in the video that says I got my brows done. But a part of that price was the 5-week touch-up. So I went in last week and got that done. And all she really does is kind of takes a look at them and fills in any gaps that she feels like needs to be filled in, and then ask you if there's any adjustments you want her to make. And there were no adjustments I wanted her to make. At first, I thought I was going to ask her to maybe bring them in a little bit longer and make the tail a little bit longer, but I changed my mind. I didn't want the color changed at all. So that happened. I'm still 100% satisfied. I have no regrets. I probably should have got my brows done much sooner. So right now they're in that rehealing phase. They're doing pretty good right now, but in a couple days they're probably gonna flake. Not as much as they did the first time, but they will flake nonetheless. So that's the fun stuff. I'm gonna go back in the closet because I can put you guys here. And I think I've started this vlog a lot of times and then not uploaded it because it's just kind of all over the place. It's not a lot of teaching related stuff because quite frankly, I'm tired of talking about teaching because teaching is wearing me all the way out. And I also am at a place where I need to remind myself that I am more than a teacher. Like I do more than teach, and maybe share a little bit more of that with you guys just to humanize myself. So I don't know, like I've been burnt out. That's no secret. I've been burnt out all year. I think that in the last vlog I mentioned that I was going to have a meeting with my principal to talk about a few things, and if I didn't, I did end up having a meeting with the principal to talk about a few things. A couple of them were leadership related. These calls, a couple of them were leadership related, and then the last thing I just wanted to tell him was that I was burnt out. Like I've never been so burnt out that I feel the need to inform administration about it. And so we sat down and we had that conversation. He was pretty good about it in the beginning, in the sense that he was like, you know what, I'm not surprised that you're burnt out. I'm gonna have to really sit down because I can't multitask and do this at the same time. So I'm about to sit on the stool in my bathroom. And it's gonna be a chatty bathroom vlog, I guess. He was pretty good about it in the beginning, in the sense that he's like, I'm not surprised that you're saying this. You're doing way too much. Like he acknowledged all of that. And I was feeling very supported. And so one of the things in that meeting I was asking for in terms of leadership was a release day to get some things done that I need to get done for leadership that I can't get done during the class period because I have 30 students in class. And some of the things that I'm in charge of for leadership are school-wide things. And so, for example, we're trying to do this color run as a fundraiser this year, and we've never done that before, but it's my responsibility to organize it, and I've never done it. So I need to kind of sit down and look at it with the school secretary, and that's not something I can do with the class of students. So his response to that was like, well, I don't know, because this is a stipend position. I do get a stipend to teach leadership. That stipend is nowhere near enough money to cover how much time I actually put into it. And so he said that. I said, true, but I do know that the yearbook teacher, which right now is Taylor, and the yearbook teacher before her, if they were coming up on a deadline and they needed extra time, they were able to request a work day, and they were given it. And I said, and they get a stipend, the exact same stipend I get. And he's like, well, I guess that's true. And he's like, but also, what would the other teachers think? And that's why I was getting really annoyed, but I responded, I said, I don't really know what the other teachers would think. And I feel very confident in saying that most teachers understand and see that I'm actually putting in the work for leadership. Like, we're putting on rallies, we're doing fundraising, like it's clear that I'm doing something. And if a teacher has something to say about it, quite frankly, those are probably the teachers that are not doing nowhere near enough on campus. So I was like, I don't know about it. But what was frustrating in that conversation, and what also just speaks to the overarching problem for most teachers, is that I went to my administrator. I had sent him an email, and now this was the meeting we were having in result of that email. And what I said in that email was, I am burnt out to the point where how I function on this campus and what I do on this campus is going to be changing going forward, because I cannot sustain it. Then we meet in person, we talk about it. He says he understands, he hears me, he believes me, he agrees. And then I ask for a release day to do some tasks that I need to do for the school, and he's hesitant to do it because he's worried about what the other teachers on campus would think, or because I get a stipend. And it was frustrating, because it's like, you hear me, but you don't. And not that I'm the hardest worker out there, but I'm a pretty hard worker. So I feel like when someone that has the work capacity that I have comes to you and says, I am burnt out and I don't even know sometimes if I'm gonna make it to the last day of school, can I get some release time to take care of some of these responsibilities? And you have to think about it, and I have to like ask multiple times. Even though you say, you hear me, you understand, I'm like, but clearly you don't. So all that to say is, I let that conversation be what it was. I didn't press the issue that day, but then the next day I asked again, and I will be getting some release time in the next week or so to do leadership things. So I continue to be burnt out. That's not changing. And I think, and I need to send this email now, since the last time I vlogged, there was this trip I was supposed to go on pre-COVID with my district, where we were going to go to different states, like I want to say in Michigan and parts of Canada, to look at lesser known underground railroad systems. And I was super excited to do it, and then COVID came, and that obviously got canceled. Well, now they're bringing it back, and they're re-inviting the original teachers that were going to go, and I need to let the district know like by now if I'm gonna do it or not. And as excited as I was to do that in 2019 and gung-ho I just think I'm gonna have to say no, because I am so worn out that I really need to have a summer where I don't do anything work related. And although this is a trip and it's work, but I'm really going on a trip and like being led around, to some degree it still is work. I'm still kind of on the clock. I'm still having to perform. And what they want us to do is, when we come back from that trip, to work maybe a couple of days with someone in the professional development department to see how we can take what we got from that trip and infuse it in curriculum. And I think I'm going to have to say no, which is something I don't ever do. So I'm having a hard time sending that email. But I think because it's something I don't ever do and I always just push through and find the energy, that is why I am where I am right now in terms of burnout and just feeling like I've been running on empty all year. So I need to get that email sent, but burnout. I also have realized since last we vlogged that PMS is a real thing. And I made a doctor's appointment. I took a day off one day just to get some doctor's appointments made. I have a doctor's appointment on March 13th just to get some blood work done. I've had a couple therapy sessions since the last time I vlogged. And in one of the sessions I was kind of talking about that, and the therapist said, you know, it really might be worth you getting some things checked because you might be in the very early stages of perimenopause based on some of the symptoms you're describing. So I'm gonna do that. But I also know in the past year, it's maybe been a little more than a year. About a year or so ago, I took myself off birth control pills. I was on them to like regulate periods, and last year I just suddenly felt like I don't want to be on these anymore. I've been taking them so long. What if I grow like a third leg or something? I don't know. I just like suddenly got very anxious about the length of time I had been taking those pills. So I stopped without a plan. I just didn't renew the prescription. And now that I think about it, about a week before my period, like clockwork for the past several months, like my mood shifts like drastically, and I can almost internally feel like the moment things shift. So I'll either become extremely irritable and like I just don't have the patience, or the smallest thing could just like set me off. I mask it obviously really well at school, but like on the inside I'm like raging, or I become extremely emotional and I can start crying, and I couldn't really tell you what I'm crying about. And I'm not really a crier like that. I cry when I'm experiencing heightened levels of stress or frustration, but just like sad crying is not really my thing. And I lost count as to how much I've been crying as of late. So I think that's also been contributing to just my overall like feeling of being just bogged down and tired and mentally exhausted and emotionally exhausted and physically exhausted. So there's that epiphany I had. And then also, without getting into too much detail, because I have students that watch and I'm not trying to have all my business out there on the internet. For the first time in a long time, I had been dating someone for several months, since July. Right now it's looking like that's not gonna go anywhere. We're still kind of in a period of like, I couldn't tell you what's gonna happen, but I had been consistently talking to and dealing with this person for several months, which isn't something I've done for a while. I've talked to people here and there. It'll be a date or two, a conversation or two, but nothing really materializes from it. No real attachments or feelings are developed, whereas this was different. Like, there was attachment involved and feelings involved, and that is just a lot of emotional energy that I have not had to expend in a long time, some by choice and some by circumstance. So I think that was also a lot of mental load on me, combined with work burnout, combined with probably some physiological things that were going on, which brings me to this point where I'm like, here I am, like really at a place where I'm like, some things have to change. I need to make some concrete choices in my life to really prioritize myself and take care of myself and worry about no one and nothing else but myself and my personal peace and my mental peace and my emotional peace, because I cannot sustain life like this. Like, this is too much. Like, the school year is crazy. The level of apathy among students is exhausting. The level of apathy and coddling and what is the word I'm looking for? Enabling that is being done by a lot of parents this year is through the roof, and all of that stuff is just making me tired. So now I'm really trying to find ways to honor myself, take care of myself, protect my peace, and that's where I'm at. So the past week or so has been rough. I've been very emotional because I was experiencing PMS and I was going through some things with this relationship that I've been involved in, and so it's just been a lot. I may have indulged in some retail therapy over this weekend. We had a long weekend and we had a nice 4-day weekend, because I just want to get back to 2022 LaTanya in Spain. She was it. Like, she was it. She was at peace. She was having a great school year. She was enjoying what she was doing at work. Like, the dynamic with her and her kids were great. Parents were great. She was traveling. She was on it all. She could care less if she had a man or not. They could come, they could go. She was doing the thing. And that's where I need to get back to. And when I say that, just in terms of my dating life, I'm not saying I don't ever want to be with someone. I'm not looking for that. I'm just saying I'm appreciating my life as it is, my freedom, my security that I have as a single person, and I'm optimistic that the right person will come along, but it has to absolutely positively be the right person for me. I refuse to settle. I refuse to just be with somebody to be with somebody. I have been there. I have done that. It has been an epic waste of my time, and I'm just not doing it. I don't want to be with someone and then be unhappy because we're not properly aligned or properly matched or don't have similar outlooks on life. And that's not to say this person that I've been talking to doesn't meet those things. There's just some things that right now are not meshing. Okay, so that's where I'm at. If you're kind of in that same place of being single, just like on a personal note, I've reread the book A Single Revolution, which was a huge reason why I was at such a place of peace in 2022 when I was traveling, because it helped me to just really recontextualize what it means to be single and what it doesn't mean, and to look at my life differently than what society tells me I should be looking at it as a single person, and help me to realize, like, my anxieties about being unmarried and childless at this point were never really my anxieties. They're society's anxieties that are being imposed upon me to make other people feel better about their choices and what they're doing. So that's been a great help. So I've re-listened to it listening to it now on Audible. I read it just in the book the first time, and then I also found a book that was mentioned in Single Revolution called The Love Jones Cohort, and that one is specifically geared towards middle class Black professionals, and talks about being single in the context of being Black, middle class, professional, and educated, and what additional challenges come with that. So that's just been an interesting listen. I'm listening to it on Audible. So again, that's it. I just wanted to kind of give like a little vlog to say hello, not really focused on teaching, more so just me as a person outside of teaching. I know that some of you would like to see more content like that, and I'll try and do that. But I'm also very wary because, this is my life. I don't want to put everything out on the internet because people then think that they are in a position to tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't be doing, and all of that. And there's only so much of that I want. So I'll try and do it as much as I can and do as much as I'm comfortable doing. So tomorrow, my intention is to kind of share some things that I'm doing with teaching, but I'm really trying to get back to the things that I was doing in 2022 that brought some level of joy and satisfaction. And YouTube is that. It's felt more like work this year because everything just feels like work this year. So I think that's all I want to say. But I definitely, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. I would definitely turn on the notification bell, because as much as I wanted to be able to just upload daily, I'm now seeing like there are gonna be stretches of time where I can do that, and then there's gonna be stretches of time where I can't. So if you don't ever wanna miss anything, definitely turn the notification bell on. But if you're not subscribed, please make sure you do and consider subscribing. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do that. At bare minimums, or at least it would be great if you give the video a thumbs up. It does help me to stay encouraged. Like I always say, it does help to create a sense of community. It does, help my channel if that's what you want to do. If you're trying to help a sister out, that's one thing that you could do. And as always, I hope that you're well, and if you're not well, please be well, and I will see you guys in the next vlog. Until then, bye.